Hey guys, it's May from eBay and Amazon Dropshipping, and today I will answer the most requested questions from you guys that you sent to me in this channel. That's what kind of tax do you need to pay, and if you live outside of United States and you live right now in Germany or maybe Australian, and what kind of tax do you need to pay, because when you come to dropshipping, when you send out the item, and most of them is Americans customer, so do I need to pay to Americans government or maybe I need to pay for Germany government? Then you think it's really tricky and really complicated, and that is good news. It is not hard than what you think, because it's surprisingly easy. And just go with me in the details, because I think it is surprisingly simple, and if I can do it, you can do it as well. Everybody can do it, so just stick with me and let's jump into it. Tax, and tax. This is very interesting topic which has a lot of arguments. Some people think they do not agree to pay tax, and another support the government. Einstein said, the hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax. But it's not hard as you think. I will explain in details for you how simple the process to pay tax when you are dropshippers on eBay, Amazon, or Shopify platform. I hope this video can help you to understand more about the tax, and it's surprisingly easy to apply. Most of dropshippers use China's based suppliers to dropship to US or UK, or you can use also US suppliers to sell to American customer. And which government do I need to pay? My own government, where I register and work in this country, or US government. There are 195 countries, and each of them has different tax laws. And if you ask me what are they, unfortunately, I do not have answer for this, because once again, I'm not an accountant or lawyer, but we're gonna focus in the biggest markets, which is USA. And the question is, if you live outside of United States and you come from maybe Germany or maybe Australia and you sell the item to the US customer, and what kind of tax do you need to pay for and how you do this? There are two taxes that you need to pay the attention to. The first one is the income tax, and the second one is the sales tax. The sales tax is more complicated, so let's go with the easiest one, is the income tax. So first of all, you need to understand about the income tax. And income tax, that is a tax you need to pay on your profit that you make or maybe you earn every single month. So it's the same with the jobs. When you have the jobs, and you need to pay on your income that you earn every single month or maybe single years. So basically, your profits you make is your income. So that's why we call income tax. And when people ask me, hey, if I don't make any profit, and what happened? And that is really simple. You don't need to pay any tax, and that you don't need to pay any single penny on your tax income, because you don't make profit and you don't make money. So that is the reason why. Just don't worry. And on this case, if you make loss, you can claim your loss as your tax credit. Even you live outside of USA, you live in Germany or maybe Australian right now, there's no big deal, because you just need to pay the tax to the government that you live in. For example, if I live in Germany right now, so I need to pay the income tax to the Germany government. And for you, in your case, if you live outside of USA, it's not a big deal, and don't worry about this. You just need to pay income tax where you live in. So what is actually the sales tax? Sales tax is a consumption tax imposed by the government on the sale of goods or services. So this one means a conventional sales tax is levied at the point of sales, collected by the retailer, and passed on to the government. And Nexus is actually mean, for those that you don't know, Nexus is a legal term, and you have a larger physical presence. Let me give you example. If you come from United States and you come from New York City, and you have house, you have car on it, it means that you own property on it. It is quite big provisions, isn't it? So that is why you are required to collect and pay sales tax. This is really simple if you have the nexus on the state that you're living in. And that is really simple if you have the nexus within it. That means you own properties on where that you're living right now, and you need to collect the sales tax and pay it to the government. Let me give you a better example. Your customer who also live in New York and buy a t-shirt for $10, you are required to collect sales tax because you have a nexus in New York City. The sales tax rate in New York is 4%, so you need to collect 40 cents to that state. Let's say your customer come from Texas and he also buy from your store t-shirts for $10, and you did not live in Texas, so you don't have any nexus in Texas because you do not own any house or properties in Texas. That's why you don't have any physical presence and you don't have to collect and pay sales tax on those orders. The answer is surprisingly simple. If you live outside of the United States, for example Germany or UK, that means you don't have any nexus within any state in US. So you are not required to pay a sales tax for the American customers, which is really good news for all dropshippers. However, in June 2018, a Supreme Court ruling, the South Dakota and Wayfair changes, is established this law and said that states can now require a large out-of-state vendors to have the collect and pay sales tax. South Dakota's and Wayfair were United States Supreme Court case in which the court held by a 5-4 majorities that states may charge tax on the purchase made from out-of-state sellers, even if the seller does not have any physical presence in the taxing state. The decisions overturned Q Corps and North Dakota's, which has held that a dormant commerce clause barred states from the compelling retailers to collect a sales or use tax in the connections with mail or internet sale made to their residents unless the retailers had a physical presence in the taxing state. In response, South Dakota's enacted the law in 2016 to try to correct this issue by the assessing authorities to require all the sellers who sell into their state above a minimum line to collect and remit the sales tax regardless of whether they have the physical presence in SD. When Wayfair and other larger sellers overstock decide not to comply with the new law, South Dakota's filed suit, and defendants asked for the summary judgment, thus combining their case into this one case, South Dakota's and Wayfair ENC. And now we need to know this what the Supreme Court's opinion. The South Dakota's and Wayfair opinions mean the physical presence rule no longer applies, and the states have the right to the unforced sales tax law on any seller above reasonable minimum regardless of the whether that seller has any physical presence. In an effort to protect small sellers and a startup, South Dakota's established minimum of the 100,000 per year in revenue or 200 distinct transactions. This means any seller who doesn't sell at least their minimums into the South Dakotas in a year is exempt from the collecting sales tax. Since the populations of the South Dakotas is very small, these minimums it will likely exempt almost all out-of-state sellers who sell less than 10 million per year unless their products are particularly popular in the South Dakota. But if you are a new dropshipper and you do not need to worry about this until you're making a lot of money and are making a lot of sales, for now you only need to collect and pay sales tax on the orders made in state that you have nexus in, which for the most of people will only apply to the state that they live in. For state to the legal path of view, the target small vendor or new Supreme Court case will be required. And if you are not sure about this, just considering the questions, do you have any nexus in United States. If not, please don't worry about this because you don't have any Nexus, you don't have any property, or maybe you don't even live there. And the final answer is no, you don't need to pay any tax sale for the government. You just need to pay your income tax to your government that you live in right now. So that is really simple, and I think this my information will help you to resolve your problems. Do you want to find out how to start collecting sales tax on your orders on eBay? And watch a video to see step-by-step tutorials on how to pay sales tax with eBay or Amazon. If you feel this video helpful to you, just give me a like and subscribe to my channel to see more about the content.